express salt in its basic form simply means to express it as a product of two factors, in which one of them must be a perfect square. Now let's take a look at an example. Let's say you are asked to simplify the square root of 48. We know that 48 is not a perfect square. So for us to simplify this simply means we have to put it in its basic form. And just like as I said earlier, I said to express salt in its basic form simply means you are to express it as a product of two factors, but one must be a perfect square. So if you look at 48, the only perfect square that can divide 48 is what? Is 16. And that can be written as square root of 16 times 3. Now, this will now take us to the first law, which states that square root of a times b is equal to square root of a times square root of what? Of b. So if we are to simplify this further, it simply means that we are going to have equal to, what we are going to have here now will now give us what? Square root of 16 times square root of 3. Now, square root of 16 that we know is what? Is 4. So times the square root of 3. Now, 3 is not a perfect square. So that means our final answer will be 4 root 3. So we have been able to express 48 in its what? Basic form. Now, let's look at another example. We have 162. Looking at 162 also, it is not what? A perfect square. So we have to express it in its basic form. And how do we do that? We have to make it to be a product of two factors. One must be a perfect square and the other one must not be a perfect square. So in that case now, the only perfect square that can go into this place that will be convenient for us to solve is what? Is 81. So that means we are saying that the square root of 162 is the same thing as 81 times 2. So if we are to still follow the first rule, what we are going to have here is we are going to have square root of 81 times square root of 2. Now, square root of 81 is what? Is 9. So we are going to have 9 times root of 2. Our 2 is not what? A perfect square. So our answer becomes 9 root 2. So this is how you solve question in their what? In their basic form. Now, let's take a look at another one again. Let's say we have the square root of 300. Now, looking at 300 is not a perfect square. So that means we are going to express it as the only perfect square that can go into this place now is what? Is 100. So that means we are going to have it as 100 times 3. So if we go further, we are going to have root of 100 times root of 3. Now the root of 100 is what? 10. Then root of 3 remains the same. So that means our answer is what? 10 root 3. So this is how you solve an express salt in its what? Basic form. Now, having done this, in our next video, we are going to be discussing addition, subtraction, and multiplication of salts. And in the addition and subtraction of salt, the basic form will also be what? Be needed, because there is what we call similar salts. And it is only similar salts that can be added or be subtracted. So in the next video, we are going to discuss much on that. See you in the next video.